nimbwa
ojja ku Mirundi nezina
obolo nimbwa obolo ni bubi 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 obolo nimbwa obolo nimbwa obolo ni bubi 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 obolo nimbwa
kati kino kiki
wayingire waffe eno tekubwa musana tekubwa nkuba obolo nimbwa obolo ni bubi 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 obolo nimbwa obolo ni bubi
Mirundi kati olamenga kino kirabo kyokundi gwoli mu bwolo
oli mu bwolo
oli mu sente zo
va mu bwolo obwolo nimbwa obwolo ni bubi obwolo nimbwa obwolo ni bubi obwolo nimbwa obwolo ni bubi obwolo omunyankole tayagala bwolo
lekane ontetedde
fabalunzi bwente twagala bwolo obwolo nimbwa obwolo nimbwa obwolo nimbwa obwolo nimbwa
mbadde manyo leso oli nedda
kati oyingidde mu family obwolo nimbwa obwolo ni bubi obwolo nimbwa obwolo ni bubi obwolo nimbwa obwolo ni bubi nimbwa obwolo ni bubi obwolo nimbwa
jatukolera abantu olabusi nange leero oleeso naye bakuleeta oli nedda
obwolo nimbwa obwolo ni bubi
webale
mwagala kunti nze na stamina komando nze na stamina eyo dance ogizina kusitamu n'amala obwolo ne bakoma bajooga kuva nino kubanyalako nakujja wano ne bakutwala wano ne bakanyuga eri nasanga ekidoli kye nakiniyamu mugani kasoteeka sente wakati baddamu kujooga mbadde mulwadde naye nakubidde mikwano gyange essimu era ne banzija mu ddwaliro obwolo ne bubi obwolo nimbwa obwolo omunyankole atya obwolo fe abalunzi be tetwagala bwolo twagalira ddala bwolo obwolo bukujoogesa obwolo bujooga n'abaganda batya obwolo babutya
empologoma
obwavu bwe bwolo kati oyingidde oyagala kakwaiti oyagala kaki kati ako tekakubwa nkuba naye mukozi yali ampadde yadde bino byofitiizi tulina gwe tukubadduke tulina gwe tukuba twereega mwadduke ayagala okukivumba kintu kyaffe ekintu kiriko nanyini kyo tebayinza kimujjako kakati twagala bwe tuba tusoma marketing tukola bwe tuti raise the project market with a bang kati nabo batambule omanye nina kati zino ziri 12 waliwo gye natambuddemu mu kibuga ng'entuulu zivuga kati ne mujja waffe naye ateekeyo tulaba ayita mu kibuga batamukuba mayinja ejjogero lyazaania ku bantu n'atujooga n'atunyalako mmwe oyinza okudde omwana we waka n'omutabaala eryo lyali ddogo nabaloga. They are under the possession of witchcraft. Tujita mindi ya kemisango. Nabaloga.
Waloga familia ya Museveni.
Naloga ya neregamu. Alike mindi ya kemisango. Ntigwe of all people olumbo mwana we waka. Then you were mad. Mukozi takubwa. Kirazira. Mu Uganda kirazira kukuba jeno mukozi. Kirazira mu Uganda kirazira bahungu basha kirazira mu Buganda okuba afende mukozi kirazira kuba jeno mukozi kirazira kwasomu kubuto bantu timu yabweriwa kati yakala njogere kuki tumaze okuzina twasokeranga mu UPE kusomero naye ate ng'ogijjeko mangu naye omanyi sente zigikola nenkuba ne bwetonya togijjaako si yabakyayina zisikola mu bakyayina ebyange byonna biri tiiki European zikola mu China. Niye ng'ogigyeko oba tuli weewaffe yongera
nkola ku TV soka newummula kati onvadde yakola mirimu gyaffe
bwetubeera mu essuuti eno nakugambye omanyi sente omanyi essuuti nga tolina kakadde eno dduka essuuti nga tolina kakadde bw'ogiraba dduka bw'oba tolina kakadde ka ssente bw'ogiraba dduka tulweizinze ebbango twaliwanika ebbango tuliwanise bwe tuba tukola marketing tukola you come in with a bang okimanyi mu mass communication bw'obanga oyagala abazungu kye bakola America ng'egenda okuba Iraq esooka nereeta air force neryoka econtrollinga air superiority kakati twagala na bano bajja baffe nabo bazireeteyo olaba ayambala essuuti eno eyakakadde eno yakakadde yeri chipu ziza bukadde busatu afe tulweizinze kakadde eno yakakadde nessuuti yakakadde ne gwe tutwala munene se bwe tutwala munene gwe tutwala munene ssuuti yakakadde akayina ng'azireeta kakadde baga ziri luddawa gwozibuuze aganaalya n'agataliiko gonna abaganda bagamba mbu aganaalya n'agataliiko gonna gabeera ku nte gajja ne gasama ku kisambi ky'ente nga bakitunda nga basala ennyama gwe toyina nakyo olya gogambe nti ogula essuuti mbu gimpe nga ngikuwa nti anze muhozi yagimpa naawe gwe omusajja agamba America bwe yali pulezidenti wa America yaga nti if you want to ask what America has given you what have you invested in America bayo tugireizinze newali wonna asanyuka nti muganda wange antiiriddemu batugireizinze nammwe ezammwe yes taliiwo wano ayino ate olaba n'Abamerika babakubirayo naki yes first let me tell you mbadde serikoodirize yinzire munzinemu let me tell you yisu kijoraizinga kati gye tuba twogerako ng'abasajja bakulu nga ba intellectuals Somalia you don't know Somalia if you want to know Somalia look at down the road Somalia kubaka Ethiopia mu weeks eri etuse mu Addis Ababa Somalia kyoyogerako yakuba Ethiopia mu weeks yali ejingidde what the Russians did baleeta tank nga bazijja mu Indian Ocean ku mmeeri helicopter nesula tanka bweti the Somalis ne batya that's why Ethiopia yagenda mu Soviet Union that's one two in the 70s Somalia was an African superpower when Amin toppled Obote the Somalian government offered the troops to dislodge Obote from power. They were restrained by Ben Chwanuka and Museveni, but they had assembled an army to remove Amin in 71. That is Somalia we are talking about.
So we have a long history with Somalia.
Somalia, when Amin annexed Kagera, he went to Saidi Bari. Saidi Bari, we had a lot of bilateral relations with the Somalia. Somalia, Omunyo, Bishibia Nanga via Somalia. Somalia was an African superpower. Somalia, Saidi Bari told Amin, go good dekati. Why? Wali Gambi, they puzzled them. Wali Gambi, they puzzled the attack. But to annex Kagera, you've gone. Amin got the verdict from Saidi Bari. Because Saidi Bari was mediating between Tanzania and Uganda. And Saidi Bari told Amin, your days are numbered. No African country will accept to change the borders. Duka. Yes. The moment, Monsi mulimu ekintu kyokola, no wow. The moment Idi Amin attacked Tanzania and annexed Kagera, this is when he left. Abaganda bakite kiwalazima. Kati botandise ku kiwalazima. The moment these people attacked Muhoozi, their days are numbered. Because Muhoozi cannot accept to go into exile. If Muhoza can accept to be humiliated in his father's government, what about his future? Endigito ogimanyi waliwo baasi gye bayita endigito kasito gisanga mu kkoona oba owette baalumba endigito ekyokulya nabakubye naali bajjamu. That they were under the influence of witchcraft. There are things I cannot do. There are people I don't attack. Nagamba omuntu, have you ever seen me attacking Chigongo?
By the way,
have you ever seen me attacking Chigongo? Yes. The moment I attack a Chigongo, I will be digging my own grave. Chigongo is not in the habit of attacking people. Attack an innocent man. Buli mwagu kusalya bali abavume yono Chigongo tavumwa
nawo
kuba talumbwa tayina lutalo. You attack an innocent man and she. You cannot attack a Chigongo. Nibo bayina kyakoze abumba manyi ninamu no-go areas.
State House to Amogera.
No, I cannot attack the first lady. Not at all. I cannot attack the first lady. No, manyi. Teri akusonyiwa akoze eki. Gogenda ovuma abantu. Yamukoze eki. That's why when Mbabas attacked the first lady yagwa. Ye politician, I can disagree with Museveni. Si John Tunde si jagenda. Era President Museveni bwe twatula mu meeting yangamba nti obukolwa bukulidde. Museveni yangamba obukolwa mbumanyi konze ye. Mu Luganda mbuyita butya konze obukolwa oba obutulumi manyi bukola bwe buti mbw abaagano wabanda biddeko mbubunoonya bakazi. Ffe mu Baganda bwe tugamba bukola bwe buti buyimira bwe buti olunaku lumu twali baana bato obukolwa obwo ne buyingira mu kiswa ne tuteekamu kaamulali bwatuleeta emisinde obukolwa obwo obulaba bwe butta omusota ne pieces ne bulaba nga bugulekawo pieces buzigalekawo. Museveni yaŋŋamba obukolwa obumanyi konze obukolwa mbumanyi mubuyita butya mu Baganda konze butulumi naye omanyi nti bwe bwezinga ku musota omunene bugumala bunti yessebo kati obukolwa obukolwa nembusesemya omusota myaka 10 ate bwandyaki singa njogera teriyo lyaku dozi ya mu busota atakubiddwa emyaka 10 kakati nze nkubuli Museveni nsobola okukolaki nsobola omulumba. Muzeyi is a politician. Muzeyi is very yakubwa. You see, in democracies, you can attack the president. A leader is attacked. Naye, an innocent person. Munya pawe chebagulanga. Munya agwerira munyale. A Muganda tells you never kill a lizard. A lizard is not poisonous. In fact, in the pursuance of a lizard, you end up burning your house. Kati olina okubeerangamu n'abantu b'omanya nti ezo lizards talumbwa. When you attack her or him,
so mu government ya Museveni omanyi mu Kigongo na first lady abo tebalumbwa.
They are innocent people. Olumba waaki akoze eki?
Lwaki kwabo togattako kabaka?
Kabaka tewali yalaba kabaka before me. Let me tell you, teri yalaba kabaka before me. Teri yalaba kabaka before me. I will see it as from the Kabaka. Let him deny it. Kabaka bwe yajja wano twamukima Busiya. And as he arrived, the president was meeting the Bataka the following day. Baali tebamanyi nti ayingiddewo. When the Kabaka arrived, teyalina waakusula. Kabaka government yali temuwadde woteri yatemuwadde ki. We maneuvered on our own. No Mulangira wa Lugembe Juko, who is later found out to be a fake. Well, Captain wa Lugembe Juko yali munsiko nga yeyita mwana wa Muteesa Kasabanda. We moved Mutebi from Busia. He had nowhere to sleep. We took him to Kasabanda's place. And the following day, we constructed a temporary Urubiri for him.
Where?
The first person Mutebi saw, a prominent person, was me.
Were you prominent then?
Yes. Yes. Bari badusi. Ngani mayanja ankanye nani tebamanyi wekigwira. kakati bagenda oyo omulangira Kasabanda batandika empiira gy'ebika sajja bamuyitanga Sali nabba ssente n'abula empiira gy'ebika gyalimu ssente ne bazibbiramu kati Kasabanda yazanyiranga mu kika ky'abalangira naga nti mwabbye ssente abalangira mwababbye nga baagala bayiseewo olugave n'emmamba why Semakulandugwa yali walugave ngaga nti walugave naye nga buzaale bwe tebumanyiddwa muganda we Luutu Katenda Luutu nga wammamba ng'ayagala ebika ebyo ebibiri always bye bababbiramu ssente. So when the Kabaka wanted to create to account for this money ne balwanagana Sali disappeared in the jinja teyalabikako mu meeting twamulinda teyajja. In fact let me tell you bwe nabanga ntudde ne Kabaka Mayiga n'omuvubuka bamuyita Ntege bwe baatuleetanga soda. This Mayiga you were seeing.
What are you saying?
When the Kabaka was invited to go to Southern Sudan to highlight the plight of refugees, we went together.
You and the Kabaka?
Because helicopter yali tesobola kudda kiro eze gwe yalekawo. Era nalabye omusajja bamuyitaani Wamala Nuwa. I one time when I got credible information that the Kabaka was going to be assassinated to blame it on Museveni. I went to that Wamala man. Yali akulira security ya Kabaka. Nitugenda fenna. Nimukubira. Nimugamba of information you were going to be assassinated. The Kabaka told me, Mirundi, we shouldn't panic. Bayinza okubanga batukwanga bukanzi. What should we do? Kangende nkomewo mangu. What's this information?
Era nagenda.
Yagenda yo navayo mangu. Mubuuzo yo.
That's why the Baganda feel you should never attack the Kabaka.
Era simwataki.
Claim to be friends.
Simwataki. I'm chasing away. I chase away. Anti kubuulira. I chase away these thieves. The opportunity bali luddawo.
The thieves bamugaso okusinga
kuki. Anti kuki. At one time when the Kabaka we had Abaganda bakola meeting a new work. Kabaka was invited. Yabuuza kofe babiri ne Kintu Musoke. The Kabaka knows the struggle we did with the Kintu Musoke. Amanyi n'awali yagundi. But bad money drives good man away. Anti kuchi. Ate yabawa one would die went to the Kabaka. I went to the Kabaka and I told him Museveni agambye atya. Museveni agambye there was a rule in the CA that even those who don't know English can come and submit their submission in Uganda and they will have translators. Mugere mukisome. I went to the Kabaka and informed him, this is a trick. Have you agreed with Museveni nti wono simba abantu bitajja kusimbawo? Omanyi nti akalu kali mu ssente oziina. If all our people betusimbyewo, there was an interesting constituency. Waliwo omuvubuka nga bamuyita Gundi, Muhammad Mayanja. Yawulira nti balonze Muhammad Mayanja, n'alowooza nti yeye, kozi Muhammad Mayanja we Paris. Bagende waka kungulu, Muhammad Mayanja ne omukyala musiraamu waliwo ne Muhammad Kateregga omukulu w'ekika ky'empologoma. Kakungulu n'abayita, three of them. N'abaga nti you people. Mwenna basatu mwesimbyewo ne Serunjogi. Serunjogi n'agamba Kakungulu, nze bulijjo abaddipi bange abakafiri be bannonda ndamwaswa of Victory. Oyo Muhammad Mayanja n'agamba nti nze abavuka bagenda kunnonda. Namugozi Kateregga n'amugamba nti twakiziganya ne Museveni ffe abatakafe tugenda mu CA. Oyo Kakungulu naye mugezi nnyo. Kakungulu oyo genda omubuuza, how many times did we sit and discuss serious issues? Oyo Kakungulu w'ekibuli. Me am highly intelligent, but where's bad money comes I run away. Ne Museveni yanfiirwa. We highly intelligent man. Kakati
highly intelligent here.
Kakungulu n'abagamba twesiimye nnyo batuleetere kaakaawa tunywe. Gwe tugenda kuyita mu constituency mu abasiraamu aba. Gwe Muhammad Mayanja ogenda kuyitamu. Namugozi Kateregga agenda kuyitamu, omukyala agenda kuyitamu, Serunjogi agenda kuyitamu. Who beat them? They were defeated by a man called Ziwa. Ziwa bwe yagenda mu CA yagamba yayogerayo ekigambo eki ti kapusoni z'omu Kampala baziteekamu obuwunga bwa muwogo mu Constituent Assembly. I saved Uganda on many occasions. I told the Kabaka, the moment these people claim that they are sponsored by you and they are defeated by Museveni, Museveni will have an upper hand and ask you, if this issue of federal is popular, how come that your people have failed? Okiriziganyiriza naye tiwanasimba gwe tojja kusimbawo. When the Kabaka was going to London, he said, Abaganda mwena mulonde gwe mwagala. They didn't know that I was behind it.
A short break, then we'll return with Tamale Mirundi.
Tunasobola kunzanyisa nze sigulibwa sijogebwa tuyinza kunniyamu noniyamu.
Okay. Kale katugende maaso neze
kati kankuweeyo example kankuweeyo example emu ya Kabaka Ssaabasajja Kabaka. When the Kabaka came nga tumujje wa Walugembe Jjuuko, I was happy. Walugembe Jjuuko Kasabanda yali amabanja ga million 10 ne bamutwala mu kkomera the Kabaka paid. Kati bwe batumala okutegeera nti Walugembe Jjuuko si mwana wa Ssekabaka Muteesa alimba, Kabaka twamugjawo ne tumutwala Komamboge wa mukoddomi we. Mukoddomi we yali Afro Studio. I have two things about Afro Studio. When NRA was going to enter Kampala, bampereza abaana 10 bakadogo ne mbafuniye ebifaananyi photos okubeera mu Kampala as students. Niti bansasudde Museveni yansasula mu Nagisi College omukayi n'okunjoga ng'ajo Uganda. Kakati bwetu anti Nagisi College mu dola teriimu muzira Uganda. Museveni yansasula mu Nagisi College. Bali balowooza mbu bwankanyuka kujirikiti nsobola okugendayo. Yes, Nagisi College. They sought by humiliating him, humble him, throw him on Kasasiro. Me, to go on Kasasiro. With this background, so Ssaabasajja twamugjawo temutwale Komamboga. Omusajja oyo alina Afro Studio was the best. Yali ku Kampala Road. Kakati n'afiira mu accident. Yaliwo express. It was urged. Ti Kabaka bw'ajja mu nnyumba yo ng'ogivaamu. And it was only done by Ssemakula Ndugwa. Kabaka yakyali wa Ssemakula Ndugwa. Kyasangamu kyonna agenda nakyo. Ndugwa yali ayagala bwa prime minister naye nga kitaawe Kaseppewo omuziba. Ndugwa Ssemakula mukulu w'ekika ky'Olugave yaleeta omugga bo. Ssemakula kitaawe Kaseppewo yali musajja muziba. Yatasobola kufuka kika kya Lugave. Era akasajja kaamugamba nti ngenda kuloga bizinensi yo nga bonisita ne bikuwa. Ngenda kujjako obugagga Ssemakula mwavu. Bwakatikiro teyabufuna. Kabaka yali amanyi kitaawe wa Ssemakula muziba Kaseppewo. Atasobola kufuka ekika ky'Olugave okimanya amaanyi gaakyo be batereka mu jaguzo. Wakati
Kabaka bwayingira mu nnyumba yo.
Yes. N'omukazi amutwala. Everything agenda nakyo. It was only done by Ssemakula Ndugwa. Naye nga Ndugwa tamanyi te Kabaka amuyinako sita. Ndugwa Ssemakula kitaawe yali mu Tanzania. Kaseppewo yagulanga bintu by'abantu nga si Muganda. The Kabaka knew. Kati yakola nnyo Ndugwa Ssemakula okufuuka Katikkiro kyamulema. Twali tumumanyi. Kitaawe Kaseppewo yali musajja muziba. Ne Ssemwogere musajja muziba Paulo amusedi maama we Nyamwendero oli Abaganda taata we Kapere. Omanyi we had vassal states. Abaziba Abakerewe bo balogo batyayo amudiyonole Muganda was ever been in that area ne banyaniza bulungi nnyo Abakerewe. Okiraba Ukerewe Island kuleka mu mabu ya Uganda. Osanga abasajja ako Ukerewe nga batudde ku nnyanja bayisa omweso. Osanga abaana Abakerewe nga baavula ku nnyanja bayina eddogo erikubye bano erikubye abajonzi bano bagwa mu mutwe. Amudiyonole person was ever get to Ukerewe. And the Bakerewe banjagala nnyo.
Bagenda kuloga banno. Kanti ogenda bakubye emyaka 10.
Gundi bw'afa oyo omusajja Afro Studio ne batubuulira Kabaka made a mistake yalirazeewa Komamboga nga bakyabagendayo. Yagenda wa mukoddomi we n'asula mu nnyumba y'emu. Kati Abaganda ne bajowenga nti olwokuba yasula mu nyumba yemu ne mukoddomi we naani yayina givaamu mukoddomi we kuwekufa kabaka netumugjayo netumutwala ewa jjajjaawe ebbanda. Where was Mayaga? Where were these idiots? Where were these opportunists? This is a story nobody can deny.
That was your time.
At one time, the Kabaka called me through Reverend Kajumba. Yali akuli olukiiko lwa Buganda, secretary. Yampita wange nga n'akayumba ka mwavu. Ti Ssaabasajja Kabaka akuyita. Omanyi Ssaabasajja Kabaka bw'aba akuyita, abubaka abukuleetedde afukamira. You need to deliver the Kabaka's message you have to kneel before.
Before the Kabaka or before anybody you are delivering the message to?
Waleese obukubaka bwa Kabaka afukamirira gwabutwalidde. Kajumba knelt before me. Nanga nti omutanda akuyita. Is me him we knew omugezi. Nangamba nti mu masiro baziise atali qualified. Baziise omuntu atali mulangira mutuufu kuziika Kasubi. Nemugaa nti what are you going to do? Ogenda kwekuzuminga body? Kati ekyo kireke. Let us put up rules. Who is buried at Kasubi? Era oyo omuwala andagire ekyamu ekyayisa andagire yokolaba omumbejja ekyamu ekyayisa. When the Kabaka came ngali isolated, that woman indagire, Princess Indagire, yayina banga mwavu yatunganga machi egundi yatunganga magundi zino ate mukyakya abasijja ke
sole ya Buganda nti bigenda maaso mu ggwanga.
Kakati nkubuulidde omukyalo oyo Ndagire Mumbejja yagula gomesize n'atambula ne Kabaka nga ye mwennyina gwatambula naye mu bwavu. Bagera kakati bafunye mbuba mujjawo kyobulaba yali resistinga. Ndagire yali resistinga. Why? She invested. Yatunganga suuka and some of her children are imbeciles. Naye investinga mu sente ze Ndagire bwe twatambulanga. Emulangi yo Mumbejja gwe tumanyi nga yeekokomye abali ba sente ba Mayaga. Can Mayaga fight a battle over me?
Mwana muto.
Can Mayaga fight a battle over me? Timayaga mpangula. Tibano bandaze kulya bampangula. Nze ekyajabukanya nabo kyali kimu. Balimba Kabaka basse baana ne bakola teefe ebbanga ne bagibba.
Teefe.
Nga bataddemu enkuluze ya Kabaka. Buli Muganda ateekemu sente aseti zonna baazibba kasanalaba obubbi emmengo mu mupiira gy'ebika ne mu nkuluze neziruka babbi ba Mayaga. Mayaga cannot fight me in Buganda. Ayina likodi ziri luddawo. When did we see Mayaga?
But are you aware that Abaganda bonga bakwesonyo
ate wa
tebakwagala?
I'm very popular. Nkubuulire gwe gondi yantutte ono kojja Kimbo akola akatuusa eddagala ly'akatuusa. Mwabasoga mugamba amayido. Amayido gaggwawo.
Amayido gakola nnyo.
Kati gwolina abakazi bameka? Oba amayido gakola? Amayido gaali malala. Gali amayido gaali malala kati gwolina ate ffe kankubulire olina abakazi bameka? Ffe Abaganda batugamba nti kasobera n'omukazi ogwo seggwanga ewuwe ekusekerera mu makaago. Anti seggwanga y'enkoko eyingira essaawa 10 nekusanga ng'otudde ku lubalaza ne kakaziko kamu. Ho laba ono omusiru nsula mu nnyumba y'ennina bana yayina kamu seggwanga ekusekerera. Era ffe mu Baganda tukugamba ti w'abakazi ababiri yesabaddu w'abawuulu n'ababiri tebamala. N'abakazi ababiri nabo si togamba mbasajja bano nti ndi wamaanyi ti oyina bameka nti babiri tetukuwa gwe tonyo ku mwenge gwaffe balina kuba bana. Ffe abakazi bana twabafuna mu Buganda culture. Abatusanga nabo ekyaleme Kabejja Muwanika Nassaza ne Kaddulubaale baba bana. Omusajja Omuganda omugagga nga nze alina okuba n'abakazi bana.
Kati ozaayo bameka?
Tebaliiwo. Ompitanga gwe omwavu omwolo obwolo ni bubi obwolo nimbwa. Kakati I'm telling you, when it comes to Buganda, nobody can defeat me.
That's very good history, and I think
nobody can defeat me. Nasusa amenvu ino okunywa omwenge. Have you ever seen the Kabaka attacking me?
Does he have time for you?
Yeah, he knows
Does he
me.
even know you?
He knows me.
I doubt.
Unaku yansanga nangamba. Mirundi. Yeah. Ngato kyajja mu lubiri ne muganda nafumbirwa. I have to seek clearance from the president. If there is anybody who knows, Museveni was misled. Museveni yamanya potential yange.
Is it possible
Kofira namukolera ki omukono ali okaniriga mbwa yagala bwa president
that one of these days you visit the Kabaka?
Hey,
Is it
I
possible?
can.
Yeah, do it.
Do I have any problem with the Kabaka?
No, visit him.
My
good. Anti
kakati nze atanjagala nnyo lwali nti babbetikami abamugamba betikami yagenda ennamirembe n'alyoka agamba sebo pulezidenti ng'omukazi eyajja ewa Yesu n'akwata ku munagiro gwe nange nzize nkukwatako lete where is federal yadduka kati alya betikami alya namboze bwe yali ajja mu first term yajja n'embwa enjiza ayige federal butasoma federal ng'ebeera luddawo. Where do you have federalism? Federal, whoever talks about federalism is an idiot.
I'm a federalist myself.
Auntie, how?
I believe in federalism.
Yes, you can believe in it, but what are the practicability of a federal arrangement? Federalism occurs where the country is big. You tell me any other country in Europe, apart from the Federal Republic of Germany, which is federalistic. Is UK federalistic? No. United Kingdom. You give me France, its neighbor, is not federalistic, which means the Germany graduated from 190 states, united by the Yankees. To have federalism, a country must be a huge country like Sudan, Yabalema. Nigeria is quasi-federal. The Nigerians admire the American system. The federal government in Washington, the federal government in Abuja. But why do you fight over resources? When you have federal, you share resources. It's stupidity. You can share resources in any arrangement. Has Saudi Arabia an oil? Because it trouble in Saudi Arabia. Do they have a federalistic state? Kati ubete kamena ababa, oyuna ababa. They use whoever mentions the federal in Uganda.
I actually signed Betty Kamia's petition for federalism.
Auntie, let me tell you.
Federalist, I believe in
when tell me any Muganda who has gone to parliament and raised a motion, a private member's motion on a federal. Who?
They don't do it.
You know you mwana omulenzi.
Bana.
Ng'akufaanana. Mundeetera akulire ewange afune amagezi. Omwana mumpe akulire ewange afune amagezi. Let me tell you. In Uganda you cannot have federal. Why? Federalism is not a political system. It is a form of governance. Abasajja bano baali bagezi nnyo babetikomya bali basente naye wanudde abantu bajja bategeera babe kuki yakola ki akwatako yajja ewange n'afukamira ne mubulira amagezi ndigenda okole bwoti ne bwoti esimu yange n'agijjako ayinotiddikireyo sirina byabugagga byenteekayo njagala abijjawo njagala omulimu bagunzijeko amuprovoking them gukola ki
You never declared your
Ante
welfare.
gukola ki?
Under the law.
Gukola ki?
Kati
abasirikale bange bagenze ku head counting tebaleeseewo omulala. It's the interest of the state to protect brainy people like me. The country loses when I'm assassinated.
But in the state will hate you. Ozanyira ku Betty Kamya.
Because as of today, nti mu Uganda anybody who talks about the federal is a fool. Why? Federalism.
But I told you I believe in federalism.
And I'm telling you.
And you're saying nobody who talks about it is a fool.
Omusiyaza asubirayo okuzaala.
That's all.
Yes. However much many Catholics would like to go to Rome to see the Pope mu St. Peter's. Basobola.
No.
N'abasiramu bakuga nti hijje kakota kwayina. You must understand realism. I'm a realist. And I'm knowledgeable. Katika nkubuulize. Mu political system ya Uganda mulimu systems ezi ozimanyizo
Zimbulire.
Muwanga tomanyi system za Uganda eziri mu constitution. Objectives ozimanyi.
Mulimu objectives of state policy. Natural objectives of state policy.
Kakati we have two political systems in the constitution. A multi-party system, a movement system, any other democratic.
What is any other? Any other kind?
Amaje bagagana. It was intended for the army. Any other democratic amaje tekalimu. Basi ba amaje ga Uganda.
So multi-party bwegana. Ne movement system negana.
Any other
yeruwe ya
anti checho.
Anti parking. So ichama jo kuamba government
bakigana era bakugamba constitution ya Uganda yagamba ti omuntu yenna alijja ku constitution yeno ng'akozesa ekifuba abaligenda mu nsiko ne bamulwanyisa ne bamuwangula balisasula through national coffers. But the problem is the military comes in nga abantu bamaze obbakyawo endulu ne zivuga nali kuba koto abajoze nsinga badduka abajoze buli wamu. Military comes uganda otya and kubolidde ejjaddi prevent the military but don't outlaw it nichi. But our soldiers are educated, highly educated. But again,
I've now realized that any other
kakati nkubolira nti federal terimu mu political systems. So anybody who goes to parliament,
it is a form of local governance.
It is a form of local government.
Yes,
a president like Bobby Wine can tell you, if I win the presidency, I will govern according to federalism. Chiri mu manifesto. Chiri mu political system. Because federal is not a political system. Federal is a form of governance where it is applicable. Byebimu ala DC ne DC.
Bobi Wine and no have not promised federal.
Anti kyenkubuulira abazungu bababuulira ensi entono nga Uganda. A person who has driven from Mutukula, you have vehicles. From Mutukula has entered Kampala. Waliwo ka mirundi akakeera ku makya ne ka mirundi akisaaweemu. Bajavuwazizza nnyo naye empologoma bwesiringi nga teyenkana pusi era emmotoka zange zikyalimu bakuba kundeeridde baali balowooza nange ndi mwana. Obwolo ni bubi, obwolo nimbwa, obwolo ni bubi, obwolo nimbwa, obwolo ni bubi, obwolo nimbwa. Kakati nkubuulidde okitegedde nti nkubuulidde federalism, whoever talks about federalism is an idiot. A small country cannot have federal. There is only one country in some form of federalism, United Emirates. Nti kabaka yaddira amasaza nga ag'ebusoga. Emirates efugibwa nga busoga. Okimanyi ekyo? If you want to understand busoga, you study Emirates. Emirates efugibwa nga busoga.
United Arab Emirates.
Yes, efugibwa nga busoga. Nti kabaka yaddira amasaza ge n'agagabira abaana be. Lekeni busoga. Nti ojja kusanga nti president wa Syria ate ono owe Dubai ate ye mumyuka bwono. If you want to study Arab Emirates, mwalifunye ne sente. If you have abasoga abategeera baligenze mu Arab Emirates ne babagamba kimufugirako eggwanga kati we Emirates agenda kujja wano nga guest of honor.
This is what you said.
Yes.
If you had abasoga abategeera, but we don't have.
You don't have.
Let's have a short. So, kali oliku program.
Obutabo buno nabuleese bungi. Nina akatabo kange.
Naye akatabo kano gatona omusajja ono omwagalako. Oyagala nnyo byange.
Bamukubira bwereere.
Sikyamanyi gy'ali.
Kati nina akatabo. Nina akatabo bakayita kibwetere ne busoga.
Kanako ebisiya zamu. Okwogeza ebintu.
Ante ngenda kakuwa tukasomemu ewasemba. Tuyina kibwetere nawandisa akatabo kibwetere ne busoga.
Kibwetere?
Kibwetere. You have a kibwetere ne busoga in the making. Mulimu omulokole ali busoga akibwetere.
Kibwetere ne busoga.
Is in the making of kibwetere. Manyi abasajja abo ekibatisa abantu. Tewaliwo omulokole yassa abantu bayitirivu nnyo Kenya. Why? Because this is a kirokole government. Eya Ruto mulokole, mukazi we mulokole, vice we mulokole. Kati abalokole mu bwekweka. The devil uses the Bible, a devil to defend himself. Kati mu Busoga mulimu omusajja. Omulenzi oyo mubbi. Naye omusajja omukadde yapiringa wa president. Nakadama. If anything happens in Busoga, Nakadama is responsible. Omusajja akuba abantu. Omusajja abbye kanisa z'omusajja. An old man. Omusajja akeera ku makya ne banene bazimba ekkanisa 10,000 omuvuka ne bamuleeta n'awamba ettaka ly'ekkanisa alitunda akuba abantu emiggo. Nakadama, I've written about you in my book. Museveni directed you. Lize ekibweterere Busoga ajja kubookya kubanga bano abasajja basooka ne baba ne ssente. The boy has a lot of money. Atunze ettaka ly'ekkanisa, atunze eki. The old man summoned, invited me to his home. And he brought food. I did not eat. Era bannange kambabuli temumpanga ku buyinza except parliament. I'm emotional. Omusajja bwe yanyumiza nga bwe mukwatira omulenzi oyo
ogamba Nabbi Joshua emmere wagaana okulya
nagaana okulya wa Nabbi Joshua. Why? When the man told me about his story, nti fool an idiot, yajja n'awamba ekkanisa 10,000. Omusajja n'amugamba nti mpaako ekkanisa zetu nedda agula buguzi atunda kkanisa Nakadama. I've written a book. Chibwetere ni Busoga. The president should intervene in Busoga.
That one I agree.
Abo Nakadama bali basente bano bonna aba Busoga
babalanda bamugamba
naye tebasobola anti atunda ttaka lya kkanisa naye gwe yajja obuzi. You came. Omusajja n'akuyita kitaawo nga temuyinaako Luganda wakulya wako limbwa n'otunda ekkanisa zonna n'ozimalawo. Omusajja yaŋŋamba njagala nnyo okusaba naye nsabira mu nnyumba yange muno naye sina na kyaki gye ngenda kusaba fe abazimba ekkanisa naye what type of kibwetere is this? What type of system is this? Nakadama kale Nakadama musiraamu oyo aziri kubanga bano bakafiiri naye namwe abakristaayo in a country where the balokole hold a sway. Omusajja n'abonaabona yazimba ekkanisa 10,000 ntunde kuba buli omu limugula. I've written a book.
Kibwetere Busoga.
Anti there is a Kibwetere Busoga in the making. Those are characteristics. When you look at this young man in Busoga, okutunda ettaka ly'ekkanisa n'agula balidas nono omusajja w'egindi bwe yabadda Kenya yaseba meka Kibwetere yataba meka. Mumanyi Kibwetere omanyi nti oyo Mwerinde yali musista. Do you know that Sekapulali eyalina ekibwetere bazaalibwa n'egundi former chief justice Katulebe, their brothers. Kasepulali was going to become the bishop naye nga ava muki mu Banyayigulu. Abanyayigulu tebasobola kulya buyinza mu Wankole. Era Museveni bwe yalonda Katulebe baaseka n'okuseka. Omunyayigulu Muganda Katulebe Magunda baga Museveni yalonda abantu ne Katulebe naye asobola okufuka chief justice
boba mulabira mwere.
Yes, kakati Kasepulali Kereziya yamumma. He was going to yali agenda okulya obwakibisopo obwambalala nga siba kyenga yagenda okulya bwe babu mwana gw'eddalo. Kasepulali is a younger brother or elder brother of Katulebe eyayisha abantu. Mwerinde was a nun ne bamugoba kati amusinga ekibwetere ne Busoga. Ekibwetere kyasooka to compromise everybody.
The state has been made aware. Buli muntu amusinga babaguzeeguze badde police is no everybody buli omu aguliddwa they know.
A man who started these churches 200 churches 2000 the man even donated money to construct a police station
in Chani in Bulamosi.
Yes, which was commissioned by the president.
By President Museveni, yes.
Is he the one now who cannot go to any church? Wagenda y'omusajja nga amukuba.
Talina wasabira.
Neshinga byaffe mukkirize mu byaffe. Ebyaffe tumukube ebigwo mwenda. Oyinza okukwata ku church yange. Echurch yange. n'abaana bange bagitya ekubebiko mwenda yingire mulabe fe owaffe Katonda akolerawo owabiribiri tukubya abanene tubateeka ku ttaka biki biri ebintu byange babitya biri ebyaffe byo biveeko byo biri buluto anti era ffe tukubuulira fe omanyi bwe tukubuulira ffe ababiina tukugamba nti konyoomera asula mu nju kanyoomonyomo andikutta ndikwata mulala kanyoomonyomo wonyoomera asula mu nju yo kanyoomonyomo nze ndikutta ndikwata mulala ye Lubaale takolerwako ebyaffe tebikolerwako gundi compromise nti oli mugagga nnyo wonyoomera asula mu nju kanyoomonyomo nze ndikutta ndikwata mulala binkuba nebisula eddalu nebiteekawo omulala biyinza nomujja mu famire kasoleeta obusirusiru nga tobiwulira bikuba nolaba omusajja nga nze nga bintadde binsudde eddalu era nze nabaga nti nga nagenze butabika nziyeyo abantu nembategeeza nti ono bamweyana yamubanja mumuleete anti bamweyana tolaba oyo gundi Bishop Kiganda yayambala ekutiya yafuna obukadde 10 olunaku ekutiya yabamweyana tolaba emotoka eziriko jajjabbaamu Kiganda amuyina Kiganda yali musamize Kiganda yayambala ekkanzu ekutiya yafuna obukadde 10 oyo bamweyana agabanga mulalo anti musambwa gunywa enjaga gunywa walagi gunywa kasasiro gubeera mu balalo yayambala mubuuze naye omanye sente zeyafuna olunaku miliyoni 10 ku akawunti yo oyo ye bamweyana tolaba emotoka eziriko Kiganda yava mu ebyo Kiganda abimanyi bulungi ate tugamba nti ekutiya egulikako yabukadde obwo ekutiya yabukadde obwo n'enkofiire naye yabukadde obwo toga nti ebyo ebintu bigulikako byamwavu hayi eri ekutiya egula obukadde obwo olyokufune wawoinvestinga okujjako mwenole mumwatwale obujozi bwokka ne bajooka ne baniya ne bakanyuga wali wakolera obwe atayinvestinze mu kintu akifunamu so kakati me I tell you nti the president should help this old man, and if this man is not tamed, you are going to see a Chibwetere in Jinja.
I agree with you.
Nedda kuba abantu emiggo.
They should reconcile.
This young man yatunze takalimazeewo was never part. In fact, the old man showed me a photo of Museveni. The man introducing this man. Tamuyina ko Uganda, tamuyina ko Luki. Kalise takalitunze. How can
it is Joshua who introduced Daudi to Museveni.
Daudi. How come that you can prevent this old man, even to conduct it, to access his church? No, you call your saint, no, go saint, no, go saint. I saw the old man. Yandetera ekyemisana nga bwafumidde omugenyi omukulu Salia. I was bleeding with anger. Yinza okukwata Daudi ne muttirawo. Era nze temumpanga buyinza nti president, the only thing I can do, I can be a good member of parliament. But leadership, I'm emotional. I can control myself. Museta usibatagera. Mbemvuddemu. Yatunuliyanga nga atunulira omusiru. If this man wants to access this 5 billion, he should go to New Vision. Me to go to New Vision, he must go to media center. He must go to NBS where we can way of gains the man of Bajifuga. Smoke Bene Monikobu. Smoke Bene Banikobu. Bariba Nerekam Bariba. Did you think the way Museveni evaluates what I'm doing now? Yamusaja wherever I'm state house. Yanda bangango musiru. Naturally, I'm last meeting. I'm saying yagamba kamazo body fitting. Mr. Mirundi, obukolwa mbuyita mutya. Konze sibo tuwita butululumi. Naye omanyi nga bwe beetinga ku musota omunona bugulya. kati obukolwa bukulidde obukolwa nga buli omusota omunene Museveni kyeyali agamba nti ebyange byonna bannalweso babimize omusota bagusesemye obukolwa busesemye omusota. The president didn't know what he was talking about. That I'm a huge snake that can be swallowed by obukolwa. For 10 years of
they swallowed you.
No.
They banged you out of State House. But you're not in State House.
Who has ever staged a 10-year-old struggle? Buli kimu n'enkigaana. Media center, yonkuba ennyondo omutwe. Yonkuba ennyondo omutwe. Bw'advisor sibukola. Fera amazi.
Bw'advisor wabukkiriza.
Sibukkiriza nga.
Ovuga emmotoka yaabo, olina abasirikale baabo, olina omusala gwabo, office tolinnya eriyo.
I'm a senior citizen.
What do you mean by senior citizen? Nina kaki? The citizen? Nina kaki?
Wakolako wani akunoonya. Hagwani akunoonya. Hagwe mbuli akunoonya. Gwani akunoonya. Why? N'ogamba nti omusajja ayagala kama mata embwa n'edduka. Embwa ebeddukira bwereere. Omulala akama embwa. Omusajja akutte ekyanza agenda kama mata embwa n'eteekayo muwonye. Embwa n'edduka omulala muwonye. Kakati embwa ebeddukira ki? Embwa bagikama, embizzi bagikama. Ente yedduka. Nze ndi nte. Bazite balabe omulabe bwedduka bamukuba ne bufa mubwe ne babujjawo. Yes. Kakati gwe muwanga. Omulalo tayinza kama kya oweeki akutte ekyanza agenda okukama embwa n'eteekayo tumuwonye embizzi n'eteekayo tumuwonye embizzi eba erimba n'embwa tebabikama ne kapa gw'oli mu kirikisa ekyo teri akunoonya nga bakunoonyeza kigwe gw'oli mu gurupu ya mbwa ya kapa ya pusi teri akama gwe teri akama who is looking to kill you for what?
Oli ku Baba TV program ganga mukaka numero kolokuna bakete the big story ne Joseph Tamale Mirundi.
Akatabo kano okalaba. Akatabo kano nakawandika ku kesi ya Ham. I'm happy tubakubye ne bakkiriza. Kati omusango weeguli. This judge observed in his ruling that this bank, first of all, it has no capital. The president directed nti buli asasula mu liveni asasulira muyo. Tebalina capital babagakani. Bajja kutubba wano. 2, nti this judge ruled nti eyo banka terina operation license mu Uganda. Ekola illegally.
Yes.
Chiwanuka.
The principle has been.
Abaana bano kye bakoledde Museveni. Muyina ebintu bye mukola ebinene ne mubivaamu. Kiwanuka ndi Kalugire Company Advocates temuyinza kudda mu banka kulwanyisa Hamu. Kalugire y'omu n'alumba Hamu mu ttaka.
Mirundi.
Why don't you handle the Kalugire and Company Advocates? Nemulimba mwe mukyayisizza nnyo famire ya Museveni. Ne famire ya Kaguta tebikola. Nedda. Bano abalezi be bakyayisizza Kaguta. Why do you involve in small things?
Mirundi. This is the question.
Mwali badde mu negotiating a deal za mafuta.
Ne
mu butono buno ne munyingiramu tikatugenda mu kooti eguddewo Kalugire and Company Advocates. Omusango gwa Hamu n'Emmengo Kalugire and Company Advocates mwagala kutwala kisaawe ebintu ebyo bibakoze bubi nnyo kyobola ba family ya Kaguta ensi ejagala twagala muhoozi naye abakooto balina akamiro buli wamu wonna concentrate on the big things. Leave these small issues to Gundi.
The big issue that you have to answer is that I hear people say, first, did Ham take the money?
Yes. But when Ham took the money, Ham carried out an audit. Ngabamu badda. Chiwanuka nava. Chiwanuka. Jejjawo yagenda atya. Chiwanuka you are haunted. Jejjawo yagenda atya. The issue is, the young man put money in that bank.
Yes.
Naleta internal auditors. Ngabamubba. Chiwanuka navayo ne Kalugire. Naye mmwe mubeere mu binene. Kalugire. Mufunye sente. Tata we yawandika nga butabu bwa history. Mugaggawadde. Nze kambabulire. Nze singa tebannumba. Singa siyali mu taxi. Naka munyezi. Nalina mu n'ataano. I was one of the leading investors in transport. Nalingera kuteeka kutandika kuleta.
Yutoda namwe mwatubba. Yutoda ya baba. Namwe
nalingera kuteeka nti nze nteeka sigiri. Nina motoka ku stage y'ewazana. nedda basajja mmwe mulidde bavuuka mu akamiro ke kabaleetedde obuzibu nodda mubasomesa nobba mu education nobba luddawa buli omu ngaoli oli lukokobe mwe muli lukokobe mmwe mulekemu ebintu ebinene bw'ogaggawala leka ebinene genda mu binene singa kakati mmwe nedda singa kalugire nodrek balina kampuni ya nyonyi singa tebakyadda mu bino bya kifere nedda mwonoonye nnyo famire ya Museveni bavubuka mmwe abaana bakaguta Amos Kaguta tebabba abaana bakoze gwelaba salari mu byobusiru sale omulabako mu byobusiru sale mentioned mu byobusiru bano batabani bakaguta bano abalala wadde tebabayambye nnyo bali mu byabusiru kalugire kiwanuka mujja kwonoona mwonoonye aiteriyo ati munankolaki mwonoonye ebintu nti kakati tugenda kalugira ndi company advocacy mukkiriza omusajja talina nti mumubbe kakati soma akatabo ako ke nabawandikira ku basiyazi. You must understand the strong points of the Basias. Nawandika akatabo ako nimbaga mugenda kweyo kinga.
Badinga tebe ensonga yaggwa. Kyajagala kochi ya.
Nkubuulidde ate muti yakyo kugenda ebweru baba sibye. And two issues. One, the Americans and their campaigns. And every vote in America is important. Two, you are pioneers. Balina okubasibira ddala ejjoogo libaggwe mu kisajja kyo kirigenda Makka na Madiina. Ne mu East Africa bagenda bakobamu. And you don't know abantu bano obujingo bwabwe obusiru bwabwe omanyi kye bakola kati gwe bwogenda mu hoteri ya Kenya baga oyo ajja kutawaanya abasajja tujjudde everybody is MCS kubanga bano abasajja bali mu kanisa ebalemeredde nono weekirivu naye agala sente za gundi where is obusiyazi
actually nalabye omubaka wa America mu Uganda yabadde ne Yoweri Kaguta Museveni president waffe. I've written to the American embassy. You? Yes. Thanking them for the tightening. None of these people should go to Europe. And I'm appealing to His Excellency, President Biden. Tighten because it will become, if you don't know, this thing is going to become political. In the 6 months, you will see allegations of homosexuality against prominent people. People like me, I'm worried. Do you remember that Besigye was charged with rape? Yes. 2 years after the alleged incident, and the DPP was the chairman of this electoral commission. Shameless. The reason was, as other people were campaigning, Besigye was embarrassed and kept in courts of law. All the time. They would drive to Afghanistan. So if it was rape, today it would be homosexuality. We cannot allow this. Where are the alarming numbers of homos? What kind of pictures? Then I ask, if you people, you have children, you have houses in America, you have houses in America, you have houses in Europe. If anybody who goes with a homo becomes an automatic homo, why do you go there? Muja bit later. Murachi mugendo you. Need to have America. Biden, Your Excellency President Biden, I salute you. The American ambassador here, I salute you. Tighten the belt. They should not go there. If going to mingling, only mingling with a homosexual, you become a homosexual. What? You tell us, you have children in America, you have houses in America. Why do you fear travel bans? Because you have homes in America. Therefore, if those who go mingle with the homosexuals don't get this bite of homosexuality, why do you believe that when they come here, we become homosexual? They should die here. Don't allow these idiots. If you go to Europe for treatment, how do you know that a medical doctor who is treating you is a homo? The parliament should refocus its attention, as the president is saying. Who brings emotion? The excitement. We must popularize the parliament like a Kadaga. Kadaga was not popularizing parliament. Kadaga was riding a tiger. You cannot use excitement to popularize the parliament. You suffocate and you are going to suffer. Why? Because you don't have a hospital. Kakati no organic case here come here. Me I dance in my sitting room. You will see. It will be reflected in the number of deaths. Nabagamba nabakuba nemba jaw. Nga dokita bamuyita dokita Namaganda yali Masaka nga bebakola bino sefika salamu. The moment I exposed Namaganda and she left for Brazil, do you see people dying on Uganda? In Jinja, it was done in Lugazi. People are dying in Meta's sugar canes. Are they dying there? By the time I came in and my daughter was killed for organ extraction, 18 women were dying every week. Are they dying? They will continue dying. You pass this bill, law. Museveni has enacted this. Bajja kuddamu babeekiso mujja kuddamu mufe abantu balumva amalwaliro bagoche.
It is embarrassing.
They'll ban your hospitals.
For Ugandan to thank Biden.
I'm thanking President Biden.
It is okay.
Abaganire ddala okulinnya essejjo lino lirigenda Makka na Madina. Because you see, because some churches cannot manage their affairs, abasajja balina wareti ezisekanga bakakande nga tebabirimu. Naye ono alemeddwa ekkanisa ye, n'ono alemeddwa okulwaniranga obusiraamu. Because of our stance on homosexuality, the government should give us money. The church house, abatadde sente. Martyrdom has never been part of the Anglican Church. You sent abali mu government bali nabo.
What do you mean? We had the martyrs even.
Where?
No,
martyrdom.
Yes.
Has ever been a part of.
Ate juse bagenda
na
mugongo.
Anti kubiri temwali nayo. Abalira mu government bagabana nabo abamagandula. If we have failed to manage your church profitably, why is this agitation of homosexuality not in Western Uganda, where the church is run on prudence? We should suffer because of one person who has failed to run. Because of our stance on homosexuality, the government should pay for bishops and what? If the government cannot pay for its workers, and what are the consequences of a state-controlled church? I salute the Barocco. The Barocco have stood to farm. Why? What is the role of a preacher? The role of a preacher would be to preach to this homosexual, to turn into a normal life. You kazim, no wishire fuchi. Ay. Soma akatabo kange. Ekyo kulicha kubagwa mutwe. Singa bagana kazimba okugenda mukazi we bamujjanjabira German naye n'atagenda yo n'afiira wa tusina amazina mu ddiro lyanga mukakazimba afudde ye bamujjanjabira German naye mu muganda okugenda afiire wano nzina amazina mu ddiro lyange. Casualties of misguided approaches to politics.
Misguided?
Yes, they are misguided. If you want to popularize parliament, there are many ways. Control the interest rates in banks. Return the order government to restock banks. Where do you find a government that moves with the bags of money? Which one comes first? This money you are dishing out to people would come through banks. You should evaluate it first. Viable projects. Which comes first? Is it a horse or a chigari?
It is the horse that rides.
Yes. I'm happy. Your Excellency President Biden, I'm dancing here because tighten the American ambassador. Try after 10 years. Go to China. Why don't you go to China? Honorable Madam Speaker, if the Chinese, if the Americans have rejected you, why don't you travel to China? Why don't you have houses in China? Why do you feel the American travel ban? Because you have houses there, you mingle. This is the mother where homosexuality is recognized. And I told you, homosexuality is part of Uganda. The first homo, prominent homo was Mwanga. Mwanga was a homo by practice. He wanted to deny the British a succession. Mwanga was a homo. One of the reasons, why do we call it Buffy? Buffy. Because the Baganda coined they say, hey, nafa basajja Buffy. By Mwanga. He is an imposition from Europe. Was Mwanga European? Mubasibe, tubafuluma wano. Ayi Mukama otenderezebwe, Katonda weggulu. Ayi Mukama otenderezebwe, nga. Abaganda bagajotega amaggo gye bakuba bakugoba gyoyitira. Once you plant a landmine in modern times, when the battle becomes fierce, is where you go through. Nammwe mulye ku munuluuza gwa wano amayumba gammwe temugagendamu. Anybody who motored it, who discussed it, who contributed to it must not be allowed to go to Europe and America.
But I think that is good. When they lose hope in hospitals in America,
yes, they will develop here.
Hospitals.
Biden, the American ambassador should tighten the grip. Parliament I told my son he ran away. My son is the one who drafts laws in Parliament. Namugamba get an excuse and he ran away. Don't be part of this. We can get a job in Europe. Duka katuntu nankubirisa where is my son? My son is sick. Ndi musiru yasoma international relations. Am I a fool? Mu family yafe mulimu musiru. Kazisoma nkubulire nti lwaki bano balemwa nababulya mu katabo kange. You are failed to understand the Messiahs and the psychology of the Messiahs. Read it.
So are you for the Messiahs?
Me, I'm a liberal. Messiahs has not touched my buttocks. But I know it's going to be used as a political weapon. Rape is normal. Somebody like a basic. But if it was Okusiyaga, you wait in 1 year, you will see cases against prominent Ugandans being accused. A person who gives false, wrong information about somebody, what is the punishment? They deliberately don't answer. This is going to become a political. The Americans should move in, and the Europeans should become a political weapon against a political opponent. Rape was used by on message.
I remember saying that the law is for political reasons, and people seem not to understand. Kale, the strong points of the Basiyazi group.
They cannot accuse us of splitting the Basiyazi because I wrote this book earlier.
You wrote the book earlier?
Yes.
Maybe is the book still allowed to circulate?
Yes. I'm not splitting the Basiyazi. I'm telling you the strong points of Basiyazi. That you just stumbled into something. We must be popular like a Kadaga. Popularize the parliament like a Kadaga. If you want to get cosmetics, get proper cosmetics. But if you get cosmetics that make you more beautiful and your husband cannot recognize you, then the cosmetics have not done their role.
As a highly trained mass communicator, I know that if one wants to stop or to fight a bad habit, you must look at the wisdom behind it and why it persists and the benefits for the community in which it is practiced. Take an example, the female genital mutilation. It is practiced in societies where men leave their wives for distant engagements or employment. This practice involves removing the most sensitive part of the female reproductive organs in order to reduce the woman's urge for sex. To reduce cases of rape, South Africans use a device which they insert into a woman's private parts, which sticks onto a man's. It can only be removed by medical practitioners, and it is used to trap and arrest rapists. President Museveni succeeded in the disarmament exercise in Karamoja, which had eluded past leaders, because he solved it by creating a strong army to enforce discipline. Being a cattle keeper, Museveni knew the psychology behind their rustling practice and their relationship with cows. With my knowledge of mass communication as a change agent, the Basiyas have the following points which those opposing them have failed to respond to. 1. The intention and purpose for sex. For us who oppose them, we believe that sex between a man and a woman is meant to produce children. Although we also know that it is for pleasure, for both, and to cement the relationship between the two. The ultimate goal would be to get children as God directs us to fill the world. However, the Basiyas urge that if sex is intended majorly for procreation, why do married couples stay together even when they have not produced children? I also strongly doubt if barrenness can be a basis to nullify a marriage. Number 2, the homosexuals urge that they suffer from hormonal disorientation, that some men are actually women tucked in men's bodies or vice versa. This is why in Europe and America, some people undergo medical procedures to change their sex. If we take this argument, medical doctors should go further and describe the conditions at whether this applies to Europeans and Americans only. But if it also affects Africans, then scientific procedures to change sex should be introduced and services accessed at a low cost even in Africa. Number 3, we should also ask, can sex be obtained from a woman only? From the argument that sex is primarily not for producing children, we lose the argument that sexual satisfaction can only be obtained from a woman. This reminds me of my village background. We used to argue as children what things would have related to one's acceptance by society, while another one is rejected. The difference between a reed and sugarcane, the two are almost similar, but one is edible, the other is not. The eggplant, Centura and Entengo-tengo, one is edible and the other is not. Baganda say that hunger cannot force a person to eat a dog. Dogs are not eaten in Uganda. They are animals which are eaten as meat, while others cannot. Let's apply this to the argument of overseers. They believe that a woman or a man or a woman can be used for sexual satisfaction depending on circumstances, intentions, and the consent of the two people. It also reminds me of how society develops concepts to avoid misbehavior. For instance, we grew up knowing that going through a window can make someone a notorious thief when he grows up. The same applied to eating in the dark. Parents warn the children against this practice as it would lead to one becoming a thief. Luzira prison and other prisons are given intimidating names to condition society against misbehavior. Luzira comes from the word okuzira, meaning denying yourself something important, which can be food or sex. It also goes like Luzira nduru, meaning a place where noise is prohibited, and even if you make an alarm, no one can respond. Therefore, by naming a prison Luzira, sends a signal that once you commit an offense and you are taken to Luzira, you shouldn't expect help from outside because your alarm will not be heard. But also, you must not expect privileges like sex. The same applies to places of detention like Narufenya or Kitalia, which means a place where you will lose weight or where you will be denied sex. Kitalia or Obutalia is also related to sex. In fact, people in my village where they believe that imprisonment is intended to deny someone sex. There is also a saying that prisons warders warn prisoners at arrival to leave their testicles at the gate. Makende yako wacha hapa. And there is a saying, bogende buliambwa obuliambwa, meaning when you visit a place where they eat dogs, you end up eating dogs also. That is how homosexuality comes in. Prisoners who are strong can easily force their weak counterparts into acts of homosexuality. Homosexuality is also comes a result of communities who don't want to procreate with others for not wanting to intermarry. For instance, the Arabs who were deployed to serve as mercenaries in Uganda in the 1840s, the Arabs did not want to leave their offspring in Uganda and therefore could not have sex with indigenous women. Furthermore, homosexuality happens in societies where women are heavily protected from sexual relationships. In such societies, virginity is seriously enforced until marriage, but a woman knows that she will be rebuked for losing their virginity. She may resort to lesbianism. At times, such girls are forced into what they call protection of the family glory, where it will be shameful after the husband finds out that the girl is not a virgin. More so, there are severe punishments for bringing shame to the family. To avoid this, the girl can decide to serve her husband with rear chamber instead of the front chamber, or opt for lesbianism. In Europe and America, rates of divorce and the costs associated are very high. This has also forced men to abandon women because women target rich and prominent personalities for marriage, but pursuing financial gains after divorce. And since gays in marriages are still stigmatized and victimized, divorce is done separately between the two parties for fear of embarrassment, which is not the case with normal marriage. But with recognition of gay marriage in some countries, this will soon not be a problem. Another important factor, which we who oppose homosexuality overlook, is that under a gay marriage arrangement, a woman plays the role of a woman, and a man plays the role of a man. As to how would such a family do get children, some of them get into double relationships and produce children. These include Bishop Robinson, who was legally married with a wife and children, but was also a woman in his gay marriage. They also adopt children from poor families in order to have children at home. This is insightful.
But I gave solutions how to fight. I gave you solutions on how to stop this practice if you are serious.
Practice.
Yes.
But your analysis is good. Your analysis is very good. This is what Mr. Museveni was asking.
The proper way to deal with the homosexuality in Uganda. Read it. I gave you reasons. Excitement. We must popularize the parliament. Once you use cosmetics that are more making me beautiful, beyond the recognition of your husband, then you are dead. What is the purpose for? If we want to popularize the parliament, use what is affecting the population. And me, I pity them. Many of them did not do international relations. For us, we know. Why is it that Uganda alone in the East African Federation is coming with this law? Why don't we move together? Any Ugandan who will go to another country will be perceived to be a homo. No. We are not homos. Read my proposals, even without a law.
Okay. The proper way to deal with homosexuality in Uganda. Having laid bare the above facts about homosexuality and the motivation behind those opposing it, I now propose that one must recognize and understand the following. 1. Ugandans live in a global village and nobody can become an island or close off the neighbors. What is happening is that the European politicians are responding to the needs of their societies. They cannot rig elections to come to office or buy votes as it happens in African countries. They make reforms to popularize their political parties in order to get votes. Remember that politics is not like religion, which follow dogma and operate on fixed positions. Number 2, no country can operate in isolation. If any country introduces tough laws on gays, they will relocate to another country where they are accepted. In this case, tourism in the country with the tough laws will be affected and the inflow of funding will adversely go down. Which country can afford this self-isolation? In such a situation, we need to plan a coexistence strategy. This is why Sheikh Mubaji, whose religion does not recognize Jesus as the Son of God, joins the Interreligious Council dominated by Christians. This is the tolerance that we need as a country. President Museveni came up with a middle line on this matter. He said, gays will not be allowed to display themselves in the form of rallies and parades. This is the best solution instead of open confrontation and death penalties. Furthermore, Parliament was informed that there was no need for a new law. To prove this, we would have court cases against gays which courts of law have failed to handle due to absence of a law. This confirms that the existing law is adequate to handle the matter of overseers. Another strategy should be to subject the boys in schools, which are one of the breeding areas for this vice, to a treatment similar to pregnancy checks, which are usually applied to girls. We only need trained medical practitioners who can check boys if they engage in homosexuality. Thereafter, we can introduce counseling services in schools targeting those who denounce homosexuality. This is my last. We should also carry out a permanent campaign strategy to teach young people that homosexuality is bad and sensitize them on the health hazards or consequences of engaging in homosexuality. There is a Chiganda proverb, "Echinakulya ogoba kisembera," which means that an animal determined to maul you will keep coming every time you chase it away. Another one says, "Ekyazze mabere n'omugumba agamera," meaning that there are things you cannot avoid in life. Even a barren woman has breasts, yet she cannot bear children. In times of despair or confusion, Muganda consulted himself with certain statements and see a later omuntu yajirwa, meaning that some rubbish, bad cultural practices in society are blown by wind, ending up in places where they are not needed. Completed at 4:30 p.m. this Easter Sunday, 9th April 2023, at my home at his home in Izana. But then I think your write-up is really informative.
May I sit down and I analyze? Because I'm a mass communicator, I'm a change agent.
You need Mr. Museveni to read this, because when Mr. Museveni was making an argument of whether homosexuality is by nature or nurture, you needed such.
No, you see, homosexuals in Europe, they have sex change. Somebody claims, I'm a woman detected in a man's body. All my genes, I'm a woman. That's why in Europe they have sex change. So does it apply to Africans? If we know that in Europe and America, they have the facilities of sex change. I read an incident where a headmistress went as Miss and came back as Mr. Sex change. So do we have this sex change in Africa? For us, Uganda, we categorize some women. Chakula Sajja. Such a man. I told you that what Matemba utters and her type of women is not appreciated by my old mother. They grew up in the Omusajja wa kugamba Jehovah dayo. They carried out a research here where women were asked, is it good for a man to batter you? The Masaka women said yes. If a man does not batter you, it means that she does not takwagala takububira. What about me was never battered any of my wives? Sibagala?
You have never?
Never. Me I cannot batter my wife. Because I lose the point. Even if I'm provoked, people will know that because of this man's anger, he did it. Even somebody comes up to
unless they tell me, I don't think I've never done it. I should ask them.
Anti-national propaganda. If you want to malign somebody, use his image. The people cannot, even if I'm arrested stealing money, the people will say Mirundi does not steal. But if somebody claims, ayakubi omuntu falsehood atoba akuba ne bamuwanga mu studio kakati somebody to malign you, to mad-sling you, must pray within your known image. Kakati nsobola okuba mmanyi they cannot win a battle even if no person would like to see it. Even if I find my wife sleeping in bed with another man, I just go back where I came, and then you go with your man you love more than me. I cannot slap you.
Why you go?
No.
Why you go?
Agenda bugenzi.
Agenda.
Agenda. Agenda. Sinza kulwana naye. No. You go. The verdict is clear. Ngabwe ngamba bana aba DNA. To you DNA people, you have made a very big mistake. DNA to commercialize it. DNA would be a security service where somebody can take my children, alleging that they are suffering from malaria, and then I get their blood and take it to DNA in a security manner. But DNA becomes up to become a commercial agent. They will kill you. What do you because you know you are going to be killed. Look at this misusing these agents. Omusajja bakati abana batano. Who are you? Somebody will pick a pang and kill his wife over these issues. For us, Baganda, we have we have a mechanism. I cannot embarrass my wife that she had children outside the marriage. What do? Even if I know, I keep it in my dame, my will. Or you know, you see bana bangi. Or I reflect it in the distribution of wealth. I told you, many Baganda believed that Jolly Joy Chiwanuka was the son of Gondi, on Omusajja Omugaga Umukampala. Kurubia. But when Kurubia died, he left Chiwanuka for Jolly Joy. And this is when the Baganda realized that Jolly Joy was not part of the family. teyali mutabani wa yamulekera ente emu ku bugagga bwonna. Yes, Muganda you cannot expose your wife nti yayendako ng'agenze ne Mugundi yayenda Namugongo nayenda ew'omusawo mukedde a newspaper. A newspaper. What image are you giving this family if you are operating as on journalism principles, objectivity, fairness? In journalism, we have a porter's box. A porter, a man called the porter, developed a guiding principle, mechanism. If I'm writing about a story, then I think about how will society take it? I'm writing into my society. How will the person I'm writing about take it? But it's the book of the man says, Mirundi, they have summoned his mother to test him into He's unforgivable. Journalists must be professionals. No kuba mukozi nga atagala. Akamuke, twekiswa, kamonita, kati mukyabikuba.